I'm a bit better on it as well, and it will give Golden Guardians some more tools for engage and also lane dominance.
Yeah, AblazeOlive guys not bad on Viego, as we've seen a couple of times already this split. But we'll see, as looks like Zhao is going to make it back into the draft here. Unfortunately for Xerxe, he had to give up his great love Udyr.
Yeah.
But it's now been replaced by Zhao.
Everyone had to, sadly, if you were very acquainted with him. I frankly really enjoyed him while we had him here. A very fun champion. The skins, I think, made him that much more entertaining. Definitely not Udyr. Shout out to the skin designers for that one.
All right, what's the pick here for IMT? 10 seconds on this third pick here in phase number 1.
Well, so far the identity of the competition is just diving in. So yeah, just locking in the Nocturne. You already secure your top side. Triple melee diver. So the bot lane will have to keep that in mind as they select their draft in their next 2 picks. And Golden Guardians now know exactly what IMT is interested in doing. Just diving in. And so picks like Braum could get a lot of value. Or if you choose to go with something that just beats the lane for both the Nocturne and the Akali, then you could lock that in right now. Instead, it will be the Gragas, a good disengage tool against what IMT is trying to do.
Yeah, presumably Iconic's champion, but could be Chime's champion, I suppose. I do also like Nocturne in general. I think Insanity has been one of the more frequent players of this champion this split,
yeah,
and has looked quite good on it as well. So definitely like a call that IMT have played a few times, or at least a version of this they've played, if not this exact 3. But again, Golden Guardians can obviously anticipate that, so how they navigate the rest of this draft and what their plan is will be interesting to see. Is Tristana is going to get banned away from Raes. That seems quite sensible. Raes Trist is pretty good, but Lucian is going to get taken out here as well.
The key thing for the Nocturne on Insanity has been the use of Paranoia. We've interviewed IMT members, and that is what they cite to be such a powerful tool for team fighting. It has allowed Destiny to really shine in these fights. You see how important he is to the team. With the first rotation Thresh ban, he has been very good on almost every champion, and if he gets the flanks, like we've seen him on the Rakan, shutting the lights off makes it so much harder for the enemy team to scout him out and react in time before it's too late.
All right, well, who's getting the Nautilus? That's the real question here. Is it Golden Guardians, is it IMT, or is it no one? If IMT want to maybe take that one away, but thinking about the solo lanes a little bit more, because again, they are expecting Gragas to not go in one of them. There is some AP threat from Iconic. Gragas isn't the highest damage AP jungler, but potentially opens up double 80 solos for Golden Guardians if they still want to draft that. But I think keeping flexible here, picking a support kind of makes sense for how Golden Guardians are currently set up.
Yeah, and the fact that IMT still has both slots open for their bottom lane means that if Golden Guardians take their support right now, they could just get countered right away. IMT can choose to take exactly their laners. Ooh. So the Sett has to be considered as a flex, however, and so I like this pick out of Golden Guardians. It's going to make sense with their composition, good for peeling the divers of IMT, and if they choose to go with just a hard engaged support in the bot lane, whether it's the Nautilus or the Leona, you can always put the Sett down there. We have seen Huhi from 100 Thieves be so effective at this pick that if Chime takes it, I wouldn't be surprised to see him find some similar success.
All right, we'll consider a few different champions perhaps, but it will be Ezreal for Raes at the end of it all. I do like Sett for the reasons you mentioned. I believe we've seen a AblazeOlive player already. I'm sure it's something Solo is comfortable with, so definitely have the flexibility there and potentially to support as well, as you mentioned. I feel like this is going to happen every time now. As he flashes the Yuumi and then taunts Chime a little there with the Bard, but looks like Braum going to be the lock-in here.
I'm a big fan of Braum when your composition is going to have so many members auto-attacking. Ezreal, Nocturne, Xin, and even Akali to an extent. So there's going to be a lot of value here, especially for dealing with the Gragas. The Unbreakable will stop his cast, and so the peel from Iconic will be much harder to pull off here. It's a pick that has been steadily rising in priority as teams prioritize not just melee champions, but also are trying to just hard dive in.
Do it.
Braum is the anti-dive.
Ah, so close.
One day we'll get him to play Bard.
I'm sure he'll play it one day. But Rakan instead, definitely something where feels a bit more comfortable. Maybe Golden Guardians want a bit more engaged. Hard to say exactly. But kind of a cool draft between the two. I think Gragas as an AP jungler is interesting to me, right? We typically don't think of him. We think of Rumble, Nidalee. I guess Diana is another big one now as well. And Iconic's played all of those, I think.
I think we got something interesting in this draft that we had earlier today. Only 2 ADs, only 2 ranged champions. It's only Ezreal and Kalista. Everybody has, I mean, you can count Rakan as a range, sure, but everybody else is just trying to fight, trying to get into the mix, and so it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be just an all-out brawl as every lane is just gonna be constantly harassing each other. So the junglers, both great at ganking, will have a field day if they can make it to the lanes first.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it could be a pretty volatile game here. We'll see what happens here. IMT, again, getting close to breaking 500 here. This win obviously will contribute towards the right direction for that particular objective. For Golden Guardians, again, total record throughout the year, not looking so hot, but just grab as many wins as you can. You only have to get to 8.
Yeah, just snatch them all you can.
You have a lot of time. You almost beat Cloud9 yesterday.
It's like a what do we call it? Black Friday sale. You just gotta sneak in there and grab whatever you can. Doesn't matter. Just hold on to it. It's at a discount if you can get it here against an IMT lineup that still has yet to fully reach its final form. It would be exactly the right time for Golden Guardians to get it before IMT perhaps gets too good and you can no longer take a win against.
It's a good point. It doesn't get easier as the season gets played.
It actually gets harder.
As all the teams do improve, but everyone's going to charge out onto the Rift to kick things off, and I see quite a few people in the top lane for IMT.
With the Braum and the Ezreal, they could find the cheese. Solo usually is pretty good at seeing these coming, but if he stands up here, they can route around him.
Oh, Solo.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
Intuition is telling him that, ooh, I like this look. Solo not going to be
no, too late.
Looking, and now Solo going to get stunned. Don't burn the flash. It's not worth it. Solo just accepts his fate, and first blood goes to Xerxe.
Oh, first blood to the jungler. That's the kind of first blood that hurts the most. Now Iconic's job is going to get real tough. Xerxe has been so good this split and now gets to start with a longsword. He's going to dominate the matchup. Iconic won't be able to contest him at any point in the jungle now, so IMT is already off to a tremendous start.
Yeah, that's actually a huge buff for Xin early on. And hey, look at that! If you want to check out the free preview, can see how the jungle matchup's going to be different with Xerxe starting his clear with a longsword.
I would watch the longsword side of this, but you can put both up at the same time and see how Iconic actually avoids Sin every step of the way.
All right, well, IMT even going to help out Xerxe here. Doesn't need it, but going to take it, I suppose. Longsword wasn't enough. Has to call both Raes and Destiny in to help out as well.
They're enhancing their strength. Xerxe already going to be strong, so if they can help him get out on the map even sooner, he could do more damage to Iconic and the rest of Golden Guardians. And especially after clearing that ward, they won't actually know where Xerxe chooses to path. If he's trying to go up to the top side, gonna grab blue afterwards, or at bot side, so it's gonna let the laners of IMT play more aggressive as Golden Guardians has to respect that an even stronger jungler is out on the map.
All right, well, Crumbz, if you've got some weekend errands to run and don't want to miss any of the matchup, you can also check out the audio-only cast of the games through League Day. Be sure to check that out as well. It's a fun time.
I always have errands to run, and the sad reality of it is that it doesn't stop at the weekends. It's everywhere. It's constant. You got to just get in line for a lot of places that have a lot of people lining up for them. I'm talking about the DMV again. Just don't like that place. But if you're there, you could just pop a chair, and you can listen to probably the whole day of LCS before you actually get to the front of the line.
Maybe go back. Here's some older ones. If you missed them a bit more of the weekend than you intended.
You know it's serious when people are bringing lawn chairs to line up for the DMV.
Yeah, that's true. It is a line so famously long, I think I knew about it before I moved.
Right.
That's the reputation at the DMV. It's global, Crumbz.
Oh, man. You never wanted it to be that way, but it is.
All right, well, mid lane. This is a fun one here. Insanity, though, getting the damage down. Nocturne just feels so good against these melee champions, but also Viego can get work done as well. So curious to see how it develops. Raes, though, oh, he does just get clipped, but a nice buffer of the shift gets him out of there. And oh, look who it is now. Solo's going to commit the flash, but Xerxe says, I still have mine as well. And Solo is going to be second-blooded as well.
Such a good time for IMT. He wanted to gift it over to his top laner, but it doesn't matter. He takes it, and now they're going to crash the wave. It's a great timing for the gank because the wave is pushing. Solo is trying to make sure that it bounces away from him.
Oh.
The Sett dive is a dangerous one.
That's
but
true.
You know, that gank works because of the start from Xerxe, because they clear the ward, so he doesn't actually know how much time he's got, and exactly when the ward dies, he ends up falling.
That's so nice. Yeah, Solo couldn't have known, but unfortunately for him, Gonna cost him his life.
It's well played mechanically too out of Xerxe to flash first, get the red buff slow, and then follow with the audacious charge. Had he charged first, Solo could probably get away from that one.
All right, well, Chime trying to get some investigative work done. Does have a ward on the Crumbz, but that is not going to help the top side situation that is developing, as Xerxe off to a flying start here with those 2 kills already done. That's an Iron Spike Whip already finished, so the Xin speed is increasing rapidly, Crumbz.
Yeah, the champion is also getting a ton of bans and recognition as a power pick around our matches. It doesn't even matter if he has Karma or Lulu. They are just picking him constantly because of his way to team fight. Just press R, and if you're not in melee range, you just can't hit him. It's literally invulnerable.
All right, well, I feel like more top lane attention is going to happen because you can see why Solo's getting ganked. He's really able to trade nicely up against Revenge as Stixxay does get some damage done onto Raes. Nice proc of the Guardian there for Braum, hopping onto Raes to reduce some of that damage. Solo, though, continuing to get aggressive here. W's the incoming tower shot there as Revenge pops into the shell, but Solo just playing up and aggressive. I mean, despite the 2 deaths, he's up 15-ish CS. I mean, Revenge will catch up here as this big wave crashes, but now, okay, Iconic's not there and he doesn't know that, but if he was, it could be a very dead Akali.
It's a fat wave there for Solo to crash into the turret, and he's not there because they actually should know from Xerxe's gank path into the top side the route that Xerxe took. Starting to the bot side, they already had vision on his first clear, so he's expected to just return to the bottom and path back to the top side. So had he gone for another gank up here into the top lane, he would have foregone the spawn of his camps. We still are in the meta where the junglers do want to be clearing quite quickly. You don't want to be leaving these camps up available for too long, as now Iconic makes his way down.
Oh, this timing sucks. Iconic, though, not going to go over the blast cone just yet. Chime, they're going to dive in to save him. Stepping forward, actually eating the incoming cast, because Raes is continuing to get poked out here by the Kalista. Stixxay and Chime able to play aggressively. It's not built much of a lead yet, but at least they've got some pressure on the tower. Potentially could look to take a plate and maybe build an even bigger lead, as mid lane continues to be a brawl here between these two.
And Iconic showing down there should cover for Solo in the top side, as now he can continue to crash the wave as Xerxe just got spotted. You got to clear that ward. Okay, there we go. Good. Go back, clear those. That is one of my pet peeves in League. When you see somebody go by a ward and they don't notice it and it goes entirely forgotten, it really hurts to see. And in fact, coaches usually track those. Like, you did this a lot of times. You need to stop that. You need to kill that vision.
All right, well, TP's traded here in mid. Both Nocturne and Viego will return to the mid lane, but IMT with the first move over towards this top side of the map. There's no Herald yet, though, so that means top lane is the problem once again. Solo is going to get himself dove, but not before Xerxe steals the red buff.
Good timing for this one. Insanity had just TP'd into the mid lane, so he's able to push the wave, rotate over to help out Xerxe, timed with Revenge's crash of the top wave. So this is just the junglers understanding the timing of their buffs and their opponent's buffs, and using the windows that they have with the lanes to invade and see if they can pick somebody off. But now we're at a stage where Chime decides to join the rest of the team. There is a Rakan on the map, and if he starts joining up with Iconic that now has the Predator boots, it could really catch somebody out.
Yeah, I think Iconic's first play here with this Predator does have to be pretty good. Top lane's in a decent spot right now. Solo's actually been holding the wave up there for a bit, so Revenge with no flash. It is Ignite, Teleport Akali. Does have the ultimates, does have all her mobility, right? It is not easy to gank an Akali, but if no one comes, Solo's just going to keep losing the CS lead, and if Iconic comes at the right time, the Revenge is going to have it even worse than that.
Yeah, he really is. And Solo was slow pushing that wave because he knows it's really building up, so doesn't want to push it too fast. Would rather have a giant wave crash that defends him, that makes it much easier for the rest of the team to back him up once it puts him in a position that overextends him. And so thus far, we'll just have a nice trade back and forth. The fact that the gold stays relatively even is a good sign. It's healthy for Golden Guardians. That Solo has been attacked so much and still is able to retain an advantage in the lane is really impressive. He's always been a good weak side player, and a pick like Sett just makes so much sense for him right now. He's gonna constantly be able to offer value to his team, and it's exactly the pick that is so difficult to dive. Once you have your level 6 available, he's so good at trading 1-for-1 at the very least on a trade that might send 3 people his way.
That was without a recall, actually. Revenge had shopped somewhat recently, had that blasting one ready, so now Solo goes back, spends his gold, and he goes from 2 Doran's items to Ruby Crystal Boots, Control Wind, and an Iron Spike Whip. So Revenge is going to get a little bit of free time to try and play catch up on the minions here, but Solo's pressure, if this lane keeps isolated, will not stop on Akali.
Yeah, and that's going to be really helpful to keep the Akali pressure down because it keeps drawing out the rest of IMT to go into the top side, and it's freeing up Iconic to go bottom. Solo, though, playing with fire, seeing if he can stop this from happening, but now Golden Guardians is going in.
Try and pop the ulti, looking for Raes, does get the knock up there, Iconic with the combo, Raes! Gonna go down to Stixxay, but here comes Nocturne. Fate's Call, though, pops back in. That's an interesting play from Chime, trying to get a second knock up there as Golden Guardians doing a redive here. Looks a little dicey, but they are gonna go for it instead. Double flashes burnt there. Destiny out of there, Insanity looking to get out as well. And Stixxay does take out Destiny, so very successful actually for Golden Guardians. They find both kills there.
Super well played out of Golden Guardians, and they can go for that because Solo's information tells them that Xerxe is top. They're trying to answer, and so they send everybody to the bottom lane, knowing that there's not going to be a counterplay. There's no teleport on Revenge. Xerxe is top. They know it's going to be a 4-on-2, and then when Insanity joins, they can attempt a kill again. They get in, they get out, and they have been so good at finding advantages in the bottom lane as a response to their opponent's play. Chime is going in before Iconic is here, but the CC lasts long enough that Raes is instantly burst down. Insanity is ulting to try to join the fight right away, but he finds himself already 1v3ing, and he really cannot stand here. Golden Guardians does a good job in having a AblazeOlive tank first, but IMT do an even better one in flashing out of the knockup quickly.
And then they go back in, AblazeOlive pops the ulti, and Stixxay is able to find the kill. Really well played by Golden Guardians. Xerxe, oh, he's going to take the Dragon. That's nice. Just barely short on the smite, but that doesn't matter, thankfully for him. Now has the Herald and the first Dragon both taken, so that's nice for IMT.
That's still the answer from the earlier play that Golden Guardians made. They had reset, so Xerxe had to go for something, and he had that enhanced recall from the Rift Herald, so he could have based, made it back to the bot side, take the Dragon before Golden Guardians recouped, and was able to continue to pressure their lanes. They now warding out, and now they're going to be able to attack this bottom lane if they want to do so once more, because there's no summoners, and you still have a Kalista with an item advantage. So this would be the play that Golden Guardians can look for to snowball the game. Continue to dive the bottom lane, and see if you can even incorporate Solo into the mix.
And a nice ward there, actually spotted by Insanity's defensive control ward. So AblazeOlive did dip in to get a bit of vision. Actually looking nice in the 1v1 too. Has up about 15 CS. I guess Insanity's roamed down maybe as part of that. As AblazeOlive, I think, was able to grab some of the lane CS there in bottom lane. But regardless, looking good there for the Viego right now as Iconic maybe looking to walk in. Golden Guardians wanting to stay aggressive here again. Chime, so much mobility here alongside the Kalista. And they are going to initiate into the 2v2. Fate's Call, though, not popped yet. Chime looking low. There's the ulti now being pulled, and that's going to be defensive as Chime is going to go back to safety.
They have to retreat because Insanity was coming down. Viego is trying to make it, but Nocturne's ultimate would make it into the fight first. So despite Kalista being stronger, they just can't risk being in range of Insanity. Still level 1 ultimate, but a 1v1 top is happening.
Yep, Ignite down. There's the ulti out of Solo. Flashes out. Very smart play out of Solo. As bottom lane is still happening. Iconic! What an ulti into the double alley-oop out of Chime! Goes Golden in the air. Very fancy as Xerxe is diving in trying to find something, but he'll get nothing as Stixxay. He does burn down.
Oh, but it's still a great play from Iconic. They're able to now crash this wave. Iconic sticks around. IMT thought that they had backed off. They hadn't seen the Gragas anywhere on the map. They thought that when Insanity and AblazeOlive returned to the lane that it was safe, but with the Predator boots, he makes it faster into the fight, punts him into the team, and IMT is lucky to have gotten a kill back. That was a big bounty to get. Xerxe now has his Gore Drinker completed. He's got all the kills for IMT, but everything that IMT has been working for has been answered better by Golden Guardians. Let's see how this actually started, because they overextend. They now see him. The initial barrel comes out. It's like, oh, we got to retreat. We got to get out of here. But it's too late. The Ezreal's already in.
And again, Stixxay, oh, Xerxe just going for the all-in there. Stixxay even flash at the end is so close, but Chime, no E left. Ah,
He's on fire.
The red smite. Too powerful. All right, well, Riftard's been popped in the mid. That's plates over to Insanity. But dealt with swiftly there. Power Plating's fallen off as well, so I don't think Insanity will get the one that he could grab. But he's definitely not getting the last one at this rate. So he's going to miss 2 at the end of it all.
He's going to miss a few, but more importantly, he needs to take down this turret for roaming. Level 11 is going to happen soon for the Nocturne, and you just got to get value out of the Nocturne ultimate. He's already used it once, and it didn't work out. It got more members killed in the bottom lane, so the Nocturne paranoia really needs to come in clutch to help in the sides. We already see Stixxay and Solo not having flash, so the fact that AblazeOlive has been able to push mid so much through the help of Iconic attempting to ward deeply on IMT's side has now kept Insanity so far into his own lane that he doesn't have the range to help the side lanes and take advantage of the Nocturne ultimate.
I really like these little looks from AblazeOlive too, as Xerxe will finish getting his red buff and hit level 10 as a result. Just constantly putting Mr. on there, threatening that he could be maybe looking for you in a jungle camp, clearing out the vision, most importantly. And with the Divine Slander, Viego's kind of ready to go. Insanity not too far away from his item. Looks like Strikebreaker is going to be the selection, which it has been, I believe, every game for him at least. But, Golden Guardians, despite the gold being close, definitely feel ready to fight. Chime at it again. Ulti on Xerxe, knocks him back in. Now the lights are out. Nocturne going back through his Destiny. We're going to try and save the day with the Fates Call there. Back on a Destiny. Great ulti out of Ezreal. So much damage across the members of Golden Guardians. As Insanity will find the first kill. And now Stixxay is going to be left out to dry.
Oh, IMT was ready for the bait. Golden Guardians thought they actually were surprising IMT with that play. They were lingering around. And meanwhile, Revenge got a solo kill. That is a huge momentum swing.
Wait, you got it without Ignite.
Yeah, I'd like to see what happened there because Solo, I think, already had the completed Stridebreaker. So just an outplay out of Revenge, it seems, in the top side. Both will have teleport up for this next fight, but Golden Guardians really committed so much to trying to catch out Xerxe, but he already had the ultimate pop. He's so tanky, and by that time, he was able to actually... Wait a minute. Okay, he's trying to stop the teleport. He's trying to make sure that his team can get in, but just puts himself so in Akali's territory. He just gets... It kind of made it look easy. It doesn't look like it was close at all. He used everything on Revenge and still got stopped.
Akali definitely has, I think, turned the corner in the matchup, it's fair to say. So Solo now in a CS deficit and definitely feeling the pressure of the 1v1, especially because Revenge will always have Ignite ready when it's up, right? Like, Solo can never Ignite you in 1v1.
Yeah.
So Xerxe top of the charts as far as gold goes right now. Oop, Scuttle Grab goes to Iconic. Blue buff, though, is still under contest as Destiny's going to try and kick him out of the jungle. Golden Guardians, gold not too far behind, do have... Maybe this Rift Herald as they are looking to take it down. Chime trying to find a flank angle here. He's hiding in this brush with the sweeper.
Solo is rotating over, so Golden Guardians knows they can take a 5v5 here if IMT chooses, but Akali's still in the bottom lane, and they also saw Insanity recall. His ultimate was still not available, so Golden Guardians used that window to take an objective. Now, where they use this dragon is going to be critical, because, or the Herald rather. Mid lane is obviously the place you'd want to crack. You want to keep IMT as pushed in as possible. We've got Destiny. Where is he?
Just chilling. All right, flash over the wall. Very nice angle. TP now coming in. Xerxe looking to maybe find the fight. Golden Guardians will happily fight, but Zin is so tanky. Chime trying to find someone to disrupt, but Revenge now diving in and taking out Stixxay. And Destiny was a great bait as Raes is taking down Chime. And the rest of Golden Guardians are hanging out in the pit with the lights off, and that's a double kill out of the Ezreal. Make it 3, and the man's got a quadra. That's the ace out of IMT.
Just like that, Destiny is caught inside the pit, but Golden Guardians take the bait. Xerxe is right there and lives for so long. Dashes into every member of Golden Guardians, has the Gore Drinker, the ultimate to stay alive, and by that time, everybody else joins the fight. Revenge had the teleport, was able to assist, and when the lights get shut out, Golden Guardians just doesn't know how to react. They see him cross the Scuttle Crab. They see him without anybody else. He's caught. They go after him. Everybody's committing abilities, but he buys so much time, flashing over, and now it's Golden Guardians who's caught out of position. They burn everything after Xerxe, but he lives for so long. He's still alive after they kill Stixxay. He's still dashing in. They have to burn even more CC, and the man is still alive. They put so much for him, and you gotta remember, he started with all the gold. He got the first blood. He got the kill in the top lane. He got the counter kill in the bottom lane, the bounty from the Kalista. That is why he's so accelerated. So Golden Guardians thought they had a pick, but he was the most fed member on IMT. Much harder to take down than they anticipated.
I love Raes, but that was one of the easiest quarters of his career, I think. Just had everyone take it for him. As the fight has started again, it's Solo looking for the dunk. back towards the rest of Golden Guardians. Now Insanity stride breaks onto old Solo. Viego reinforcing. W going to be popped just barely out of the fear duration as the True Shot Barrage won't quite connect. But Fate's Call popped to Stixxay in trouble. Revenge making it happen. So pesky for AD carries. Paranoia popped, Raes unstoppable, and everybody's out of the blast cone. Woo. But one will fall as Stixxay gets clipped by the spear of Zhao.
The spear over the wall is so long range that it actually takes out Stixxay in that fight. IMT is fighting so much better against Golden Guardians. They can just keep launching Xin in. Normally we see the Xin with the Karma that is so strong, but Braum is a constant combination. He can follow him up. He can make him tankier. And when you have the backup from an Akali that is so distracting, and then Ezreal raining from the top, they just don't have the answers for him just yet. When Solo gets picked off and he has to play defensive, he's just not nearly as useful.
Solo again, you know, trying to battle Revenge, doing decently. W is good. Revenge taking a tower shot actually, but should be able to get away. Sett can't really follow you. Stride Breaker's off cooldown, so Revenge just going to walk away.
He's happy to just take the turret shot and clear the wave. It just shows you how unafraid he is of this matchup right now. Has a stopwatch. Maybe he really wants to make an outplay. We don't see through the fog if there's anybody else on IMT, though, so he'll think twice a bit. Why? Because it's not necessary. It's just flat out an unnecessary play to look for, but he keeps the recall. He's still thinking about it because Nocturne is now approaching, but he should just cancel, or rather take this recall. Dragon is going to be up. This is Infernal Soul Point.
All right, minions look a bit spooky, but of course, cannot get in the brush and reveal you. That would be a problem.
Yeah.
As Golden Guardians are grouping to try and contest for this Soul Point, which is good. They do need to try and pick a fight here. It is tough. Oh, Riptail dropped in the mid lane as Chime gets caught, but thankfully not picked off. So they'll have, you know, the distraction of Shelly in the mid lane.
It's early, but it's still 15 seconds on the Dragon, and so Revenge on Akali doesn't actually mind being out here because he will be looking for a flank angle anyways.
And it's never too early for vision, Crumbz, and that's what Golden Guardians get. Oh, Insanity maybe caught, pops the ulti. Oh, the fear procced on Sett. That is some unfortunate timing for the Golden Guardians squad looking for a pick. Stixxay now getting dove on Xerxe. Solo Bolo in there looking to try and make it happen. AblazeOlive also diving into the backside, but Xerxe lives for so long. What? And IMT just can't do any wrong. Solo moving them back in, but Stixxay once again finds himself assassinated by Akali as Revenge grabs a triple kill. And now Iconic is going to be left for dead as IMT collects yet another Bud Light ace.
He just went in 1v5 and it wasn't close. He still has flash. There was no instance where he was close to dying. The healing from the Gore Drinker was ridiculous. This is what happens when Xin is ahead. We warned you. We said giving Longsword to Xin was gonna be a problem, and look at what's happened now.
Alrighty, well IMT, they'll go ahead and grab that Dragon. They're pinging onto the Baron as well. Seems like it is time for this objective, and I don't think Golden Guardians can stop them.
They really can't. They're dead. You really can't stop anything when you're dead.
Oh, TP in. All right, this is the play. Golden Guardians know it's a little desperate, but they have to do something. They are very far behind now. 7.5k. Chime, I don't know how you're going to steal it with a Q, but I believe in you. I'm sorry, that belief is perhaps unfounded, but hey, your job was very tough as IMT do grab the Baron.
Well, someone believed in him, which is more than perhaps he felt for himself, because attempting a steal as Rakan is one of the most ludicrous things that happen.
So funny.
Our Honda performance play here as we watch IMT re-engage onto the Golden Guardians. Watch Xerxe here, because he starts off landing his spear onto the most important member, sticks in and says, yeah, I will 1v5 you. I will go in here, focus everything you can on me, but because Stixxay has to kite back, he's no longer in range to actually hurt the Xin. He doesn't just have the Gore Drinker, he's got the Stare Axe now and lives through it all.
I think Stixxay might have died before he could pull the spears out. Part of the reason perhaps that Xerxe could live so long as lights are out again. Bottom side is where the play is happening. Solo just getting run down by Nocturne. Tries to dodge a face breaker, maybe needs to dodge a little bit more, but Revenge is here. Solo, he just wants to kill him, give him something, the team! Not able to reinforce. Fate's Call for Chime finds 2 or 3 as the shutdown comes in for Iconic. They kill Insanity, but Stixxay left out once again as Revenge is looking to play clean up. And there's a nice ulti out of Braum. Does find one on the end of it there for Destiny as Xerxe slays Iconic. And back in we go as AblazeOlive's trying to live, but the resets aren't enough. It's a third ace in a row, Crumbz.
That was a 4v5. Raes was not even involved. Didn't even shoot
there he is.
True Shot Barrage. What's he out there? He's chilling. It's a Bud Light ace. He's
back
going
home.
straight for the mid lane, right? And the other side of the world, taking an inhibitor. He's fine. He's chilling. He's got the Baron. And now they're going to just put the icing on the cake for this game. Once they crack this, it's clear that Golden Guardians just can't stop the bleeding. They don't have any wave clear. The melee champion meta, once you fall behind, you really fall behind.
And we did at one point note that Revenge was having an unfun time in lane. I'm pleased to report that Revenge is now having a very good time. 8-1-11, 24 and no less stacks on the Magi's Soul Stealer.
Okay.
And that was his second completed item, apart from boots.
Third now. He's got another one.
Okay. You know, that's cool.
You know, that's the classic Revenge storyline. Most revenges start by you not having a good time and then finding your revenge and then having the greatest time of all.
I'm very scared. Where's Insanity going? Oh, that's rude. That's quite a combo. The downtown snipe there on Stixxay as Raes reinforces the Nocturne ulti on top. But this Kalista is having, like, it's just such a hard game to play.
You just can't do much as AD carries, as we see some players in other leagues just choose to move away from it. Xerxe just casual 1v4.
All right, here he is, 1v4. Goes golden, Destiny reinforcing. And now he's out of there. Solo's diving in, looking for the big face breaker, but he can't even W! Revenge just killed him! The stacks are maxed. IMT charging towards the Nexus. As Revenge is just spinning on everyone. Ulti into the fountain. You won't. Oh, he doesn't have it. Never mind. Revenge doing the right thing, preserving the stacks, the pages, and the KDA. As IMT yeeting on down towards the enemy Nexus, because this game's over, Crumbz.
They started with a game plan. They got the advantage that they needed, and they never let go. This looked so clean out of IMT. Legendary.
He did do it. Ah, my fantasy. Not my fantasy. Someone's fantasy, Revenge. Think of the fantasy points. He got plenty. It's fine.
He got. If you want more fantasy points from him, I'm sorry. He can't deliver more than that.
I don't remember. Oh, no, I do remember who Raes has on his fantasy team. I'm happy to report it is not Revenge.
Nice.
Because that would have been problematic, to say the least. All right, well, a fun one there. IMT kind of running away with it. Definitely much closer in the middle than the end of the game looked, but very impressive from IMT, leading on Xerxe and the lead he got at that really well-executed level 1. I even think that because they saw Solo go back, they rerouted to go the inside track instead of wrap around the outside, which is real five-head out of IMT.
Taking advantage of what the draft gave them. The Braum, knowing that you had ranged champions with the Ezreal to actually start proccing that because they sent him over to the top side. And this is what makes me think that IMT is looking like one of our top contenders. The quality of wins that this team shows currently is so impressive. When they get a lead, they're building upon it and closing the games out, for the most part, quite cleanly. This was one of them. Only one play did Golden Guardians find in the bottom side. Everything else was IMT all the way.
And right, flexible drafts, right? Clearly understand the different styles they're able to play and want to play. Strong individual performances, great teamwork, good jungler. They're getting closer, right? That's 14 and 15 now, if my memory serves. One game away from hitting 500, but it feels like with this trajectory, they'll be breaking that very soon.
Yeah, and right now they're at 7-4, so it's a pretty good record for this part of the summer split. They started at, I think it was 5-4 when they ended the first half, and a lot of those games felt like they really were up by a knife's edge. The backdoor from TSM, right? That was a game that could have been theirs. They had a few more like that, and all the while they've been experimenting as well. They brought out the Yuumi in the bottom lane, the Ziggs in the mid lane. So while they're still able to experiment and try new things, they still have clean games when they just stick to the basics with a draft that you could say is an all-around standard meta pick for today.
The classic Zero Scrims Yuumi game. It will live on forever.
That tells you something about Yuumi. That really does.
I mean, look, not the hardest champion to play, but it was cool in that comp. And again, IMT, like, just feels like everything is kind of evolving for them. For a team that I think have constantly said they weren't able to hit their stride because, you know, getting everyone together, like, literally in the same place to play the game wasn't possible right at the start. And it does feel like the long season is rewarding them for the work that they have put in.
Yeah, I think the credit has to go to whatever happened in the off-season in the middle of spring and summer. Obviously, coaching staff plays a big deal. The team looks so drilled, so better prepared than a lot of the teams right now, even the ones at the top. They're clearly executing on systems that they have used in the past, and they fall back to those every time, right? They say you fail to the level of your systems, and at the worst, IMT just falls back on those, and it looks good because they have them in place.
And the thing I love is there is more than one plan in every single IMT game. They can just do so much. So we're heading over to stage, though, to Xerxe, sorry, who's on stage.